welcome to Archerfield Speedway. Noisy little suckers, aren't they? This is the first night race meeting of the 1997-98 series, and on tonight's program you'll see the Archerfield sedans as the 4-cylinder rockets, the stock standards, improved productions and the Astra saloons. You'll see the third round of the King of the Ring series, and judging by the last two nights, there'll be some really top racing tonight. And strap yourself in that lounge chair and watch Archerfield sedan car racing at its best.
Of stock standard Division 2 Speedway racing. Should be a very, very interesting event indeed. Almost a mixed or a fisherman's bag out there at this point in time. Hello, late nominations rolling out galore down there on turn. Obviously a new car driver combination during our first heat of stock standard Division 2 Speedway racing going up the back straight. Also a reminder facts, track seats tonight down there at the Aussie Blackwear shop. Good to see Denise and all the crew back down there tonight. Down there at the Aussie Blackwear shop, the left hand side of our race headquarters. As I was about to say, those track suits being cleared tonight for only $30. So certainly sensational Speedway bargains as usual. Denise certainly starting off the Speedway season as usual, giving you our Speedway fans the benefit of some top line race bargains. Those suits tonight only $30. The Aussie Blackwear shop, the left hand side of our race headquarters. A lightning-like start coming from Ricky Salo down there on turns 1 and 2. I tell you what, as this boy is certainly dictating the pace, dictating the tempo during the opening lap of stock standard Division 2 Speedway racing going up the back straight. Plenty of sideways driving coming out of turn number 4 down the main straight. Excitement, as we say, in Archerfield Speedway sedan racing. 302, the top line shines racer. He's certainly shining under our Saturday night Speedway light. Shane Atkinson doing a brilliant job. A beautifully turned out race car, and no doubt getting plenty of power to the ground going up the back straight. Looks like a big challenge about to come from Alan Mitchell. The two cars side by side up there on the 3-4 turns. The inside, the Shane Atkinson car around the outside. Alan Mitchell, car 322. I tell you what, he's covering these tracks beautifully coming across the start finish line. Car 382. While there's certainly action every turn of the wheel, had a determined second, third and fourth placings during the opening heat of Division 2 racing. Have a look at Rick Sano, and the one not just one season, but certainly a lot of seasons, double figures. This man has certainly been a standout driver here at Archerfield Raceway. Ricky Salo, as he pouring on the power coming out of the bottom turns. Certainly a devastating night of Speedway racing to his other competitors during the opening heat of Division 2 racing. Rick Salo's second placing still being held in with a beautifully turned out Shane Atkinson and Alan Mitchell sitting in second and third placings going up the back straight. The 201 car along with Andy Lang. Not doing a great deal at this point in time, but it's virtually no need for me to say who's powering away in the opening event. A clear-cut race lead. The Rick Salo car coming out of turn number 2 as I speak. A quarter of a lap, making a half a lap lead. Going on to 3/4 of a lap. He's not relenting for one moment coming down the main straight. Rick Salo, 302, still in second placing, going up the back straight, the Shane Atkinson racer, and Alan Mitchell holding down third placing. Hello, looks like the purple racer having rather hard contact with the concrete ball down there on turn number 2. The white flag already being shown going across the start finish line. You can obviously say, Speedway fans, no shadow of doubt who's going to take out the opening event in Division 2 Speedway racing. Race win. How about a big hand for him, race fans? The return to Archerfield Speedway, Rick Salo, car 255, first, second placing, 302, Shane Atkinson. And officially third, Alan Mitchell in car 322. So all our very dedicated Archerfield Speedway supporters filling out your first Saturday night race program. The win going to the big man of Speedway racing, keeping his very important sponsor in the way of courtesy property services, car 255, Rick Salo. Talk about stock standard Division 1 competitors. Quite a good lineup coming down the main straight. I won't the two teammates from Ford Records Redcliffe showing in the front row. His door numbers not doing a great deal for yours truly up here in our race headquarters. The blue and white racer occupying row number 3 down there on the bottom turns, and Tiger Willis, car 345, certainly picked the number off the Tiger Willis car at every point around the Archerfield Speed Bowl. Ford Records Redcliffe, as I mentioned, showing the front row going up the back straight. Can they finish in this way? And we see our checkered flag being shown after 6 grueling laps of Speedway racing. Trevor Oxham and Mick Racer, the big Ford, certainly a standout race car. On the inside, row number 2 going up the back straight, Presentation Plus for the Centura and Bradley Young, also occupying row number 2. Carl Goonsroff, Jeff Peacock and Tiger Willis. This one should be a firecracker in Division 1 Speedway racing. Green flag, action time down there on the bottom turn. Certainly a lightning race start from Jeff Peacock, car 247 for that matter. Have a look at Tiger Willis getting away like a rocket coming from the back row, already vying for third placing, coming out of turn number 2. I'll tell you what, they're giving those two Ford Records Redcliffe cars no peace up front. Passing moves galore past the Albion and Cape Timer. This is certainly scintillating Saturday night Speedway racing out here at Archerfield International Raceway. Bradley Young and Tiger Willis. Certainly Tiger Willis having a ball with our first Saturday night's under lights out here at the Archerfield International Speedway. Are they claiming the Mickey Racer car? Bradley Young ducks the nose underneath the Tiger Willis car, going up the back straight for that matter. Almost 3 cars across the Speedway circuit outside the Albion and Cape Timer. Bradley Young, Tiger Willis and the Ford Records Redcliffe. Carl Goontroff sitting back in 4th placing. Coming out of turn number 4 down the main straight, a whole new ball game. A driver change going across the start finish line. One hell of a drive from 7th placing to lead, coming out of turn number 2 in 1.5 laps during our first hit of Division 1 Stock Standard Speedway racing. Tiger Willis. Is it Mick Racer or the 222 Racer sitting in 2nd placing? Certainly the likes of Carl Goontroff and Bradley Young quickly coming through on the inside, coming out of turn number 4 down the main straight. Tiger Willis almost a repeat performance what we've seen from Rick Salo during the first heat of Stock Standard Speedway racing. This is a beautifully handling Centura, where every point of this motor car is sure to go. The 306 car of Bradley Young still dicing hard with the Ford Records Redcliffe going up the back straight. Bradley Young the inside, Mickey Racer running high, coming out of the top turns down the main straight. At this point in time, it's going to be a clear-cut victory during the first hit of Division 1 racing. The only contender who can possibly take the race lead away from Tiger Willis going up the back straight. Man, at this point in time, sitting in 2nd placing. Carl Goontroff back into 3rd. Bradley Young, the 306 car, the 2 Ford Records Redcliffe, 4th and 5th past the Albion and Cape Timer. Ahead of Jeff Peacock, a very, very quiet drive. What we've seen here during the last 2 Sunday afternoons of Speedway racing, talking about the Ford Falcon. And Clinton Bajan just coming out of turn number 4 as I speak. Clinton Bajan well and truly mixing it with the big guns during our last 2 Sunday afternoons at Archerfield Speedway racing. Checker flag at the ready. Down the main straight away, the first heat Division 1 racing race win. Tiger Willis, car 345 first, 2nd Carl Goontroff, 271, who's going to take 3rd. Bradley Young, car 306, Speedway fans, top shelf, Division 1 Speedway racing. All honours certainly going to Tiger Willis, car 345 first, 2nd Carl Goontroff, 271, and officially 3rd in 306, Bradley Young, winning time on the Albion and Cape Timer, 2 minutes 14:31, the winner's time 2:14:31. Yeah, I am. Where's John now? Cars coming out of turn number 2, awaiting the familiar green flag coming down the main straight. Hello, late edition, Andy Lang to make it 6 starters just coming out of pit row as I speak. In car 214, certainly that car shine detailing racer. Looking good up there at the head of the pack, going up the back straight, but for how long with the fire-breathing Rick Salo sitting in 2nd place. Alan Mitchell. The yellow and blue racer, also sponsored by Ford Records Redcliffe, supplying and sponsoring quite a few race cars here on Speedway night. Green lights turned on. Already Rick Salo through into the race lead, going across the start finish line. The Shane Atkinson car through into 2nd placing. And certainly the back markers already making their presence felt. Old Scott coming through on the inside of Dale Mustard down there on the 1-2 turn, but the big man of Speedway racing certainly drives away, powers away, coming out of the 3-4 turns down the main straight. This boy looking good in the courtesy Property Services car across the start finish line. Ricky Staley, 382, a beautifully turned out racer. Shane Atkinson running strongly in 2nd place ahead of Andy Lang, car 214. And Alan Mitchell bringing up the first 4, but for how long? Looks like Paul Scott almost coming through on the inside, doing so as I speak. Alan Mitchell and Paul Scott side by side going up the back straight away, but no doubt there's plenty of distance separating first and second going across the start finish line. Would be no surprise to see the Courtesy Property Services car and Rick Sailor take tonight's program by storm out here at Archerfield Speedway. Join the exclusive Saturday Night Speedway Club. 3 starts for as many victories as what's about to happen coming out of turn number 4 down the main straight. Talk about drive away into the distance. Rick Sailor. Whoa, Andy Lang almost putting the 302 car right around. Look, you want to certainly get its first paint spray here on the Speedway night. For Shane Atkinson. And Andy Lang, the 2 cars centimetres apart down there on turn number 2, around about the halfway distance. Across the start finish line once more, 3 fast circulations left for Andy Lang and Shane Atkinson side by side coming out of the top turns, showing the John Daffnader's car. Shape the action further back on the pack for second, third and fourth places. Shane Atkinson certainly going great guns until the arrival of Andy Lang and Paul Scott going up the back straight, but there's no question mark over who's going to win the Stock Standard Division 2 handicap race. One of the top guns in improved production, Stock Standard Speedway Racing, the big man, working the back straight away for last time, Ricky Sailor, second placing Andy Lang, and a power drive coming from Paul Scott. On turns 1 and 2, looks like a bad miss creeping into the motor department of Dale Mustard, car 201, but across the strike, 255, Ricky Sailor, 2 starts, 2 wins, second and third place coming out of the 3-4 turns. Andy Lang, a rather wild ride around the outside across the start finish line, second placing car 214, and officially third in the 263 racer, Paul Scott. Speedway fans, official placings for our first event after tonight's Archerfield interval break. 2 starts and 2 tear-away race victories, doing it in extremely easy style. Ricky Sailor, car 255 first, 214, Andy Lang second, and Paul Scott, car 263, officially third, winning time on the Melbourne and Cape Timer at 205.02, winning time for Rick Sailor. Plenty of Rick Sailor fans down the main straight, which is certainly great to see their drivers getting a cheer from you, our Speedway fans. 306 Bradley Young, 271, 2 victories during the latter part of our King of the Ring series, talking about Carl Goonsroth. And Jeff Peacock, the blue and white racer, car 247, Steve Cooker scratching. Along with Andy Lang, car 214, those 2 additions down there on the bottom turns. Tiger Willis and Jeff Peacock certainly making up a high-powered field going up the back straight. Ironically, once again, the 2 Ford Wreckers Redcliffe showing the handicap marks of 10 metres and 20 metres. Mick Racer, Trevor Oxham, Ricky Bajan, Thunder and Lightning, the Ford Falcon, car 218, certainly our Ford Speed fans out here on a race track, getting plenty of thrills in the line of the big Ford from Pacific Performance down there on the bottom turns. As close as you like, coming out of turn number 2 for the first time, working the back straight away. The 2 Ford Wreckers Redcliffe looking good at this point in time. I'll tell you what, there's plenty of spirited driving further back in the pack between the 345 car, also Bradley Young, car 306, Jeff Peacock. There's a host of traffic in front of the 247 car going across the start finish line. Champagne Racing. Whoa, Ricky Bajan, talk about not one of the Ford Wreckers Redcliffe cars into no man's land down there on the bottom turn. A great drive through on the inside coming from the red back paving, and Tiger Willis, car 345. Do these guys mean business coming out of the top turn? Ricky Bajan looking for an inside or an outside passing move on Tiger Willis going across the top finish line. A British flag being shown at Bradley Young, looking like eyes tyres, car 306. The head of the pack going up the back straight, putting one of his best Saturday night Speedway drives for a long time, Mick Racer. In triple 2 to say they're not claiming the Mick Racer car quickly coming out of the top turns will be an understatement. Mick Racer just virtually hanging on by a rear bumper going across the start finish line. He drives his heart out. In this blue Ford Wreckers Redcliffe racer down there on turns 1 and 2. A good move coming from the 345 car from Redback Paving, and Tiger Willis going up the back straight. Motors. Oh, Bradley Young as he flipped the race in a big way up there on turn number 4. Whatever's gone wrong with the Ford, I'll tell you what, it's certainly dropping back through the pack. I'd say he may have dropped the muffler on car 281. A very loud sounding motor car down there on turns 1 and 2. The front of the pack, the 271 racer, Mr. Sneaky himself in car 271. Carl Goonsroth. There's no wild wheel twisting, just getting right on with the job on this Bridgestone tyres. Car 271, Carl Goonsroth, second placing the man who dictated the earlier laps. Ricky Racer, and back into third. The red back paving, Tiger Willis, car 344. Get your Saturday night Speedway program at the ready. Byro Boys, jog down the winner of number 9, Stock Standard Division 1 Speedway Racing. What a great way to start the season. Carl Goonsroff first. Triple 2, Mick Racer second, and officially third in car 345, Tiger Willis. Speedway fans, official placings during event number 9, Stock Standard Division 1, Speedway Racing, race win, Carl Goonsroff, 271 first, second placing, Triple 2, Mick Racer, and officially third going to Tiger Willis in car 345. The winning time on the Napoleon and Cape Timer at 2:08.91. The winner's time 2:08.91. Official Trevor Oxon, 223, Bradley Young, car 306. Ford Rickers Redcliffe and Casper. Ricky Bojan to say this motor car hasn't had a hard time during the earlier heats. Certainly the side of the race car looks like it's been through about 5 demolition derbies here on a race night. Jeff Peacock, 247 or 274 is coming out of the top turns. Paul Scott. Dale Mustard, car 201. Certainly a very dedicated Speedway driver in the 201 racer. Race leader working the back straight, Shane Atkinson, 302. Rick Salo running off about 20 or 30 metres, I think, if he wins tonight's feature race. This is the last time we'll see Rick Salo starting so close to the front of the pack. Obviously with a brand new Speedway season, the newcomers getting the top handicap march. Rick Salo driving away, going across the start line. Shane Atkinson, just watch those back markers try and come through the back. Carl Goonsroff, car 271, Bradley Young, Ricky Bojan. Plenty of spirited driving down there on turns 1 and 2. Certainly the 345 car giving Carl Goonsroff a nice old tap on the tail coming out of the 1-2 turns. Bradley Young around the outside. Ricky Bojan out of turn number 4. Wow, side by side. Great being exchanged every turn of the wheel coming across the start finish line. My prediction. We should forget about Rick Salo in car 2 number 5. He's got a virtual mortgage during the opening laps of this 10-lap Stock Standard feature race. For some reason, Shane Atkinson drifting very wide indeed coming out of turn number 4. The same words can be said. Whoa, the Andy Lane car slammed to the side of Mick Racer coming across the start finish line. A big drive coming from Alan Mitchell down there on the 1-2 turn, certainly forcing the 302 car. Shane Atkinson up track. Oh, Shane Atkinson, look out, concrete wall coming out of the 3-4 turns. Talking about some of these drivers having a horrid dislike to the concrete wall up there on the top turn. Bradley Young and Tiger Willis, those two red and white cars that they had their own private dice many times during tonight's feature race. Shane Atkinson versus getting bumped around like a cork on the ocean. Just check the march between the first and second place cars going across the start finish line. Once again, Bradley Young running high, wide and handsome coming down the main straight. Ricky Bojan on one of his best nights in the big Ford Falcon car 281. He's finding these very nifty Ford Cortinas. And Holden Toronto certainly carving out some nice lines around the Speedway circle. Looks like Shane Atkinson having major problems outside the Napoleon and Cape Timer, going from 3rd place to last coming down the main straight. The same words can be said for Alan Mitchell, car 323. Trevor Oxon and Ford Rickers Redcliffe. Bradley Young at this point in time in second placing. Well, he was in second placing down there on the 1-2 turns. Oh, Bradley Young as he saw, and the redback paving car of Tiger Willis slam into the concrete wall on the back straight. As they say in Speedway circles, when it happens in the biggest way possible. The Andy Lane car involved, car 214. Tiger Willis 345, Carl Goonsroff 271, and Ricky Bojan, a very hard knock up the rear of the 271 car from the Ford Falcon of Rick Bojan. Looks like Rick Bojan, the arm out the side of the race car, trying to get the machine restarted on the back straight. The same words can be said for Tiger Willis. Looks like at this point in time a fair bit of steam coming out of the radiator department. Andy Lang moving away as I speak, which is certainly good news indeed. Rick Bojan likewise, car 281. The only driver requiring a helping hand being Carl Goonsroff, 271. Shane Atkinson pulling on the infield as I speak. front end damage to Ricky Bojan, car 281, the mudguard hard against the wheel, the Ford Falcon down there on turns 1 and 2. Plenty of panel damage also to Andy Lane, car 214. Alan Mitchell, 322 moving away as I speak. Tiger Willis unfortunately putting the 345 now on the infield as I speak. Plenty of blue paint on the driver's side rear of car 345. Just running good, possibly could have came off. Looks like big problems for Bradley Young, car 306 being sent. Thanks for the rain, mate. Okay, let's go racing. Green lights turned on. 5 sensational Speedway laps remaining during our stock standard picture race across the strike. And the big man of Speedway Racing said, watch the distance between this blue courtesy property services car, whoever it may be, the second place car during tonight's 10-lap picture race. Ricky Salo is this one a hell of a way to return to the Archerfield Speedway circuit in the stock standard division. Across the start finish line, there's no big numbers, no catching on a smooth drive. There's no wild wheel winding, he's just getting right on with the job. Rick Salo powers out of 10 number 2, setting up the commanding race lead. Once again, going up the back straight. Second placing, Trevor Oxham, car double 2-3. Oh, Trevor Oxham, very, very lucky not to invert the race route there on turns 3 and 4. Carl Gainsborough. Mr. Sneaky of Speedway Racing doing the third placing, Ricky Bojan, as he come on like the gangbusters driving the Ford Falcon car 281, looking for an inside or an outside passing move on Carl Gainsborough going up the back straight into the Trevor Oxham racer. Is it all happening? Ricky Salo, Trevor Oxham still in second placing, Carl Gainsborough. A big lunge coming past the Albion and quick timer coming from Ricky Bojan, car 281. You can virtually hear the Ford Falcon screaming coming out of the 3-4 turns. Jeff Peacock certainly on the loud pedal during the closing laps of tonight's 10-lap feature race coming across the start finish line. Ricky Bojan desperate to drive underneath Jeff Peacock down there on turns 1 and 2. A little bit of contact between the Ford Falcon and Jeff Peacock going up the back straight. Checkered flag this time. Oh, Bradley Young straight into the concrete wall coming out of the top 10, but feature race winner, 3 starts, 3 wins, Ricky Salo, car 255 first. Second placing, a top drive from Trevor Oxham, car 222, and officially third, the top man from last season, certainly carrying on the good work in 271, Carl Gainsborough. But Speedway fans, come on now, popular Saturday night Speedway star, put your hands together for him, Ricky Salo. Give him a big round of applause trackside. Second across the start finish line, the blue racer from Port Reckitt Redcliffe, and third placing, Bridgestone Tyres and Carl Gainsborough. No time, of course, due to the race being declared. One hell of a win, one hell of a drive, 3 starts, 3 wins, 255, Rick Salo first, second gainer, 222, Trevor Oxham. Is that Trevor Oxham or Mick Racer? My apology, Mick Racer, 222, and 271, Carl Gainsborough officially third. $30. From stock standard 6 cylinders to division 2, 4 cylinders coming down the main straight. Looks like 5 starters comprising Neil Boone, Darren Drever, car 482, Mr. Bean. Well, I think of all names driving car 7. Next Saturday night we should be able to start our strictly stock standard division, the brand new division of Speedway Racing out here at Archerfield. 5 cars at this point in time coming out of turn number 2 awaiting the green flag next time round. The track record held to the credit of Jason Drever, 1 minute 56.95, a particularly quick time in division 2 Speedway Racing. The Norman Park Body Works car hanging back this time, going up the back straight. Racing down the main straight. Unfortunately, as soon as the green flag was shown here in front of our race headquarters, a 406 car immediately diving onto the infield, only leaving 3 very serious competitors down there on turn number 2. 886 already setting up a commanding race lead going up the back straight away. Unfortunately, no nomination. Don't tell me we've lost one more 4-cylinder. 5 laps. 5 laps. 886, certainly all going like a race winner across the start finish line. 339 or 399, the Holton exhaust car. A brand new car driver combination out here at Archerfield Speedway during our first Sunday afternoon of Speedway Racing 434. The Norman Park Bodyworks car, naturally enough, sitting in third placing coming out of the bottom turns. Neil Bowen, car 434, going up the back straight. 886, certainly very easy Saturday night Speedway drive going across the start finish line. Already the white flag being shown during our first hit of Division 2 4-cylinder rocket racing. Excellent, excellent. Better still. Checkered flag, race win going across the start finish line. Car 886 first. Who's going to take second? The white Datsun's a white Datsun or 114 or what is it? A white Gemini. Well, I tell you what, they've certainly got them all in 4-cylinder rocket racing. The Lawton car. 399 second. Who's going to take third? The Norman Park Bodyworks racer. Car 434. Speedway fans, the placings during our first hit of Division 2 4-cylinder rocket racing. The time on the Albion and Cape timer, 3 circulations, 109.80. Your 3-lap time, 109.80. 886 first, 399 second. And Phil Bowen, the Norman Park Bodyworks racer, officially third. Windscreen's car. Hey, going sensational here the last 2 Sundays. Certainly a sponsor's dream on numerous occasions. The Sun State windscreen, our 2 straight-wide windscreens for 64. Certainly looking good in the presentation department. Todd Herring and Colin Pollock, car 411. Colin, the first man to bring the straight-wide windscreens insignia or sponsorship out here to Archerfield Speedway. And it's certainly growing like a bushfire, which is no doubt great to see. We sincerely hope that straight-wide windscreens are getting their money's worth here in a race night in the way of our PA system, and also some great drives coming from a particular bunch of drivers, all sponsored by Statewide Windscreens. 441, Robbie Crather, Glenn Forrest, Comet Batteries going up the back straight, Robbie Baldwin, enjoying some top Sunday afternoon drive, sitting on the inside, row number 2, past the Albion and Cape timer. On the VIP fund, is it? Right. Almost set, ready to go racing. Can it be a frontline driver or can it be one of our 2 statewide windscreens boys sharing the back road down there on the this time on the line plans? And so we go racing. I'll tell you what, there's a pressure being applied. Solid, doing a brilliant job as I've already mentioned during tonight's show. Any phone inquiries to Shane, just simply telephone 0754 951 747. Our 5 cars going racing down the main straight. Bodyworks, certainly setting the tempo, coming out of the 3-4 turns down the main straight. We do apologise, Speedway fans, we'll be using quite a lot of numbers and not names for this particular event. The name's very thin. Holden Gemini from Lawton Exhaust. 4th placing down there on the 1-2 turn. Certainly plenty of smoke coming out of the 406 car, working up the back straight. But no doubt Shane, car 886, doing what he done during the previous King of the Ring series. Extending that race lead coming out of the 3-4 turns. The Norman Park Bodyworks car, 2nd placing. And back in the 3rd car, 481, going across the start finish line. The Lawton exhaust car. And the Holden Gemini looking for inside or an outside passing move down there on turn number 2. 3 cars running quite closely going up the back straight bar. This tearaway race drive from car 886. Oh, the Holden Gemini almost putting car 406 sideways on, coming out of the top turns. And a machinery flag being shown to the 406 car going across the start finish line. The boy out there in the Holden Gemini is saying if I can only find a bit more horsepower I could possibly claim 3rd placing going up the back straight. But that's rapidly running down during event number 10. 4-cylinder Division 2 handicap racing. Shane and car 886 each completed race lap, just getting further and further away from the 2nd place Norman Park Bodyworks car on turns 1 and 2. checkered flag this time, down the main straight away, heat number 2, Division 2, Handicap Racing, car 886, a brilliant drive to pick up the race win. Second placing, car 434 from Norman Park Bodyworks, and the red, black and white racer 481, officially third. Your 5-lap time on the Melbourne and Cape timer at 1:52.74. The 5-lap time, 1:52.74. Robbie Crowther, Dale Crowther, one of the Crowthers starting rear, and one at the head of the pack coming down the main straight. 441, the brand of Glen Forest going up the back straight. Certainly a very comprehensive field during event number 11. Talking of comprehensive fields, a beauty in Speedway racing out here at Archerfield next Saturday night. Our 2 open wheel sections making their first appearance for our brand new Saturday night Speedway season under lights of the Australian compact speed cars and Formula 500s, plus the East Coast A-grade sedans and the thrill seekers, the Archerfield sedans. Gates opening 5:30, track back at 6:30, and racing 7 o'clock Archerfield Speedway next Saturday night. Folks, don't miss it. Host of brand new compacts, also host of brand new Formula 500. Struck their stuff here next Saturday night, along with East Coast sedans. 7 o'clock first race, already one casualty putting on the infield. Car 442 of Dale Crowther. Up front, Robbie Crowther certainly flying the flag high for the Crowther family, coming out of the 3-4 turns for the first time. Certainly a host of spirited driving further back in the pack from Todd Herring and Robbie Baldwin, side by side, going across the start finish line. 2 of the hardest of power chargers during our Saturday night Archerfield Speedway racing. Todd Herring second placing, going up the back straight. Rob Baldwin back in the third, and Todd Herring car 407 around the outside. Colin Pollock desperate to make up the leeway in car 401. Little motor car travelling a real jewel down there on turns 1 and 2. 441 racer Robbie Crowther still holding that 1-2 Carlington advantage ahead of the second place. Todd Herring on the back straight. Robbie Baldwin car 474 back in the third placing. A rather quiet night for Colin Pollock compared to our 2 Sunday afternoon shows. Certainly Colin Pollock figuring very prominently in the major placings. A passing move coming across the start finish line. Todd Herring and Rob Crowther. Rob Crowther, can he fight back down there on turn number 2? I tell you what, there'll be plenty of red paint on the driver's side. The Rob Crowther car working the back straight away. Todd Herring round the outside, and Robbie Crowther, he's glued to the inside like a train on rails coming down the main straight. Todd Herring just getting better and better, quicker and quicker, as they say in Speedway circles. But more racing, bring out the best in the man. This could be a statement very aptly applied to Todd Herring, the 464 racer going up the back straight. Rob Crowther, Rob Baldwin, and Colin Pollock, and Glen Forest, a rather quiet drive, what we normally accustomed to see from Glen Forest, car 407. 1 lap to go. Can we see a pass between Rob Baldwin and the 441 car, Robbie Crowther, coming out of turn number 2 for the last time. There's no shadow of doubt who's going to pick up the checker during event number 11, 4-cylinder handicap racing. Car 474, full of fire and brimstone. Todd Herring first. Second placing and 441 Rob Crowther, and officially third the 474 racer of Robbie Baldwin. The winning time on the Melbourne and Cape timer at 2:11.58. Winners time, Speedway fans, and that you put your hands together for him. Todd Herring, a top drive, car 464 first. Second gain 441 Rob Crowther, and officially third Robbie Baldwin, car 474. Winners time 2:11.58. Shane 886. Shane Ellis, I would say, from the Gold Coast, car 886. I think I marked that one right. Videos, the king of Archerfield videos, Shane Solid. Any phone inquiries during the week to order that special video or particular video you would like to view of your race car, or phone inquiries to Shane Solid, 0754951 Don't forget, race fans, open wheel racing here at Archerfield next Saturday night. The compact speed cars, Formula 500s, East Coast A-grade sedans, and of course big fields of Archerfield Speedway sedans, gates 5:30, track back at 6:30, and racing under lights 7 o'clock Archerfield next Saturday night. We are racing for 10 laps coming down the main straight, seeing those 4-5 cars down on the bottom turns. Should be face to face, dictate the tempo during this 10-lap encounter, the Holden Gemini, and those 1, 2, 3 back markers. Certainly a big job ahead when you've got the likes of Rob Crowther, Dale Crowther, Glen Forest, and Rob Baldwin dictating the pace, dictating the tempo coming down the main straight. The lap 1 out of our 10-lap feature race distance. Not quite as quick as what we've seen here during our first two Sunday afternoons, driving the statewide windscreens going up the back straight. This is a two-car war, well and truly raging going across the start finish line. Car number 4-1, the Rob Grother racer, and second placing, Todd Herring, car 464, back in the third. Hello, a tyre or wheel parting company with the Shayla's car coming out of car of turn number 4. Get it right in the moment. As I was about to say, in car 886 certainly hasn't been a happy night for the 886 racer.
Double 4-1, 464, 47.
Okay, we go racing 8 laps remaining during our 10-lap course for the race going across the start finish line. Second placing, Todd Herring, still looking down inside or outside, passing move, going up the back straight, back in the third placing. Mr. Speedway himself, Robbie Baldwin, car 474. In fourth placing, going for Common Batteries, Glenn Forrest and Colin Pollock this time round. Colin Pollock certainly putting in the big ones. Glenn Forrest car sideways off, they'll be across the start finish line. 3 straight wide Winch Branch racers, second, fourth and fifth placing going up the back straight. Double 4-1, Robbie Grother driving like a man possessed during this 10-lap encounter. Todd Herring, desperate to have the straight wide windscreen's name at the head of the pack. Apprentice flag going out to Colin Pollock, car 411, very unusual indeed to see Colin Pollock pick up a apprentice flag or a black flag during any Saturday night of Archerfield Speedway racing. All eyes, all interest, no doubt centred on this 1-2 combination coming down the main straight. Rob Grother and Todd Herring to say that there's 2 drivers now bringing the next out of those 4 cylinders would be an understatement. Pedal to the metal, power driving around the Archerfield Saturday night speed bowl for one moment. You can call the mistake. The race leader, Rob Grother, is getting off the pole line for one moment down there on turns 1 and 2. Race cars, you can see the way that Todd Herring and also the race leader Rob Grother can put the car around the inside, the outside. Those lead cars virtually glued to our Saturday night Speedway circuit. Rob Grother for the first time just drifting off the pole line. Can this be a chance? Oh, and Todd Herring, the left-hand side of the racer. There's certainly plenty of red paint on the side of the Rob Grother car going up the back straight. Rob Grother and Todd Herring outside the Valmian and Cape Timer. An unfortunate incident between the 1-2 drivers during this 10-lap feature race at this point in time, just giving Rob Grother a bit of breathing space coming across the start finish line. Todd Herring and Robbie Baldwin. Robbie Baldwin saying, I just haven't got the horsepower. The third place will do very, very nicely for the end of season points tally in car 474, working the back straight. Glenn Forrest and Colin Pollock bringing up the first 5 cars. The white flag this time down the main straight. Executed inside or outside, passing move, half a lap remaining between victory or second placing for Todd Herring, car 464. A big move coming out of the 3-4 turns tonight's feature race. He's led from flag to flag, double 4-1. Robbie Grother first, second placing, the hard charging Todd Herring, car 464, who's going to take third. Rob Baldwin, car 474, obviously something going amiss in the Rob Baldwin racer. That's virtually cruising down the main straight. But all others going to the white racer. One hell of a win, one hell of a drive. Rob Grother, double 4-1 first. Certainly putting plenty of excitement, plenty of interest into 10 laps of 4-cylinder Speedway racing. Talking about our second placed, Todd Herring, car 464, back to third. The consistent Rob Baldwin in 474. The winning time on the Valmian and Cape Timer. 8 laps around the Archerfield Speed Bowl at 2:52.50. The winner's time. Reproductions coming down the main straight. Tell you what, certainly a very, very impressive lineup. Once again, the George Clinton.
They can't just blame the money, the gate money. That's right. That's the whole thing that's for. See what this thing is.
Almost set, ready to go racing. Speedway fans of number 5. Ironically, 5 starters coming out of the top 10. This one should be a high-powered affair. Shane Holland and George Twin. Adrian Stott and Gavin Fletcher already. George Twin powering away at the start-finish line. This weather all smash affairs car without any shadow of doubt. No question marks. Adrian Stott, everybody unlucky down there on turns 1 and 2. Shane Holland and George Twin, the two drivers virtually going side by side, working the back straight away, sitting back in third placing, looking for an inside passing move underneath Shane Honeyman coming out of the 3-4 turns down the main straight. The electrifying Gavin Fletcher, car number 42, and back into 5th placing across the start finish line. Oh, Gavin Fletcher, Shane Honeyman. As Adrian Stott also had heavy contact with the concrete wall down there on turns 1 and 2. Only 5 improved production sedans during tonight's Speedway racing. All I can say is I hope the Gavin Fletcher car quite okay. Yes, moving away as I speak. Couldn't the same words be used for the hapless Shane Honeyman, car number 42. Tell you what, that George Twin car absolutely sparkling under our Saturday night Speedway lights. One of our major sponsors out here at Archerfield International Speedway, where they're all smash repairs. Down there at 5357 Victoria Street, Windsor. And Comet's Batteries, may we say a very sincere thank you to all our valued and important the Archerfield International Speedway. Looks like the Adrian Stott car, quite okay. Just a few scratches down the driver's side front guard. George Twin, Adrian 49514747. Certainly to relive those memories. Sitting back in your lounge room on a Sunday morning, saying, hey, look at me out there on the Speedway circuit. Just give Shane a call during the week, 07549514747. Coming down the main straight away, Georgie Twin, Shane Honeyman and Adrian Stott. Just don't take your eyes, race fans, off those first 3 cars down there on the bottom turns for some reason. The 23 car Adrian Stott drifting wide on turn number 2, certainly allowing Gavin Fletcher to almost power through on the inside. The 2 cars side by side coming out of the 3-4 turns, a passing move between Gavin Fletcher and Adrian Stott. Have a look at Adrian Stott. He menaces a 42 car every centimetre of this lightning fast Saturday night speed bowl at Archerfield. But have a look at Georgie Twin. This motor car, to say it's not as pretty as a picture would be an understatement. They're all smash repairs. 28 racer across the start finish line. One more winning lap for George Twin, car number 28, Shane Honeyman. In car number 24, sitting back in second placing, Gavin Fletcher and Adrian Stott, rounding out the first 4 of these hardest of hard charges going up the back straight away. Georgie Twin driving away in the 28 racer, using up all the Speedway circuit coming down the main straight. Can Gavin Fletcher possibly find an inside or outside passing move on the Shane Honeyman car going across the start finish line? That's where the interest, that's where the action centre between the 2nd and 3rd place racers. Now can the black and white car dive through on the inside, but also going wide down there on the bottom turns. For some reason, both the Gavin Fletcher car and Adrian Stott drifting wide coming out of turn number 2. Both those drivers losing a lot of ground during this first heat of improved production for that car racing. Hello, looks like Shane Honeyman putting onto the infield there on the top turn. Is it a mechanical problem or a flat tire on the 24 racer? Looks like the motor car standing up quite okay coming down the main straight, so looks like a major mechanical problem in car number 24. But Georgie Twin, what a great way to start his first Saturday night under lights out here at Archerfield International Raceway. The Weatherall Smash Surveyors car and George Twin, car number 28 first. Second placing, Gavin Fletcher, the 42 racer, who's going to take 3rd. Inaugural Workshop, car number 23, and Adrian Stott. Speedway fans, high-powered racing at its very best, thanks to those 4 switched on improved productions of car stars. How about a big round of applause for him? Georgie Twin, race win, car number 28 first, 42 Gavin Fletcher second, and officially 3rd in 23 Adrian Stott. Your 5-lap time? Yes, 1 minute 46.54. 5 high-powered circulations, the winning time. 1 minute 46.54, the winner's time. Yeah. It's what, love? Cogra. Car number 14, the blue Holden Joanna, bringing up our 5 starters during event number 12 in pre-production Sedan car racing. 6 laps. The Weatherall Smash Repairs car, George Twin, holding the time, 1 minute 50.53. Throwing Shane Honeyman, car number 24, the cast of the very fast, ready for 6 sizzling Speedway laps during event number 12. Immediately after the next event, being the Astra Saloon Car Handicap Race, our 4 big feature races during the night show. Shane Honeyman is in the lightning light start as soon as the green flag was shown on the start finish line. Second placing George Twin, driving as usual, coming out of the 1-2 turns. Racing, Gavin Fletcher working the back straight, and Adrian Stock, car number 23 ahead of the Neil Lowe. Holden Joanna across the start finish line. Have a look at these two guys, as there's certainly something special about the pre-production here on a Speedway night. In particular, that George Twin drive down there on turn 22 for one moment. Maybe hitting a run or maybe hitting the cushion on the Speedway circuit, whatever it was. Just getting the car offline for one moment. I'm talking about Shane Honeyman, car number 24, allowing the George Twin car to power through as he got more horsepower from last season. My prediction is certainly George Twin doing a lot of development on the main department of car number 28, the all-conquering red Weatherall Special Airs car working past the Albion and Cape China. Second placing Shane Honeyman, and back in the third, Gavin Fletcher, car number 42. A relatively quiet night across the scene from Adrian Stock, car number 23, coming across the start finish line. Gavin Fletcher. So on the inside of Shane Honeyman, gonna Honeyman fight back in this black and white 24 racer while there's action every turn of the wheel regarding second, third and fourth placings. It's all the systems go for this red Weatherall Smash Affairs. Ford Cortina across the start finish line. The last rapidly running down during the sixth handicap race. George Twin, Gavin Fletcher and Adrian Stock, car number 23. Certainly two beautifully turned down race cars on the Speedway circuit. Adrian Stock, the 23 car, and of course our Tearaway race leader in car number 28. The George Twin car, the motor car sounding $1 million on his way to a big race win in the pre-production handicap race, working the bottom turns. The extra way, the 3-4 turns, already get your Biro program at the ready and jot down the red racer, car number 28, Weatherall Smash Affairs car. What a win, what a drive. Second placing, Gavin Fletcher, car number 42, who's going to take third in 23, Adrian Stock. Speedway fans, the placings, the handicap race, the pre-productions. Don't forget the adrenaline pumping out here on a race night at Archerfield International Speedway, event number 12. The placing Speedway fans, give a big round of applause. Trackside, George Twin. Put your hands together for him, car number 28 first, 42. A fine drive, Gavin Fletcher. The same words can be used for our third place man in car 23, Adrian Stock. The winning time, it's a quick time at 2:01.17. The winner's time, 2:01.17. Neil Lowe, Adrian Stock, 23.42, Gavin Fletcher. George Twin, can he take tonight's program by storm in car number 28 and 24. Almost set, ready to go racing, Speedway fans. Shane Honeyman, George Twin, Gavin Fletcher, green flag. We go racing across the finish line. Shane Honeyman and George Twin, these guys mean business in the pre-production division. For one moment, just a flutter in the motor department of the Neil Lowe car coming across the start finish line. Have a look at Gavin Fletcher, have a look at George Twin, the left-hand side of the Albion and Cape China. Two of the hardest of Saturday night power peddlers, Gavin Fletcher and George Twin. Hello, yellow lights being turned on trackside. Complete restart. A driver's side rear tyre fighting on the George Twin racer. Certainly a devastating blow to the Weatherall Smash Repairs, car number 28. To say that George Twin wasn't looking good during tonight's Speedway racing, unfortunately putting the 28 car onto the infield as I speak. Diminishing.
23 should be in front of 42. It's a restart and 42 is a late nomination.
Looks like one driver, looks like one car out of position before we see a start. Event number 16 in pre-production sedan car racing.
Not nominated at all.
That's right.
Tonight when, what's her name? The little devil took it. Can you ring up an hour before and get on?
Almost set, ready to go racing, Speedway fans. Correct car order coming down the main straight. Shane Stock and Gavin Fletcher, car number 42, the Neil Lowe car, the 14 racer, 4 cars, and we've got a hell of a race in our hands coming out of the bottom turns. And Gavin Fletcher gets on the inside of Adrian Stock going up the main straight, certainly all eyes centred on their second and third place duel coming out of the 3-4 turns down the main straight. Oh, Shane Honeyman. Something absolutely detonating on the main straight is at the timing. Shane, I tell you what, very, very big dollars on the Shane Honeyman car, car number 24. The whole time, the whole timing chains come off it, I'd say. Shane Hollyman, that could be very, very expensive dollars, unfortunately. The field dwindling away on the main straight. Adrian Stott, Gavin Fletcher and Neil Lowe. Well, Neil Lowe, the unnominated racer, should at least... Hopefully 3 cars, no more drama, no more major blocks out there on the Speedway circuit. Good hard fast Speedway action with Sydney and pre-production provide for you our Speedway fans every Saturday night during our long 50 plus race season out here at Archerfield Speedway. Gavin Fletcher, Adrian Stott and Neil Lowe going up the back straight. Quite a cushion developing up there on the 3-4 turns, as you will see most of the drivers hugging the pole line as they come out of the top turns down the main straight. Gavin Fletcher, what a spectacular Saturday night race drive along with Adrian Stott, 2 of the hardest of power charges out here at Archerfield International Raceway. That's how they're running, the 1-2 going up the back straight. Gavin Fletcher, Adrian Stott and Neil Lowe. What else can I say except a few sparks coming out from under the front of the 42 car down there on the bottom turns. Hopefully nothing serious with the Gavin Fletcher racer. To say they aren't working these cars to the limit would be an understatement. The improved production feature race across the start-finish line. Still Gavin Fletcher, the 42 racer. Neil Lowe, quite a nice drive. Car number 14 getting quite close to the rear of the 23 car of Adrian Stott coming out of turn number 2 as I speak. Fletcher, certainly a power pack Saturday night in pre-production sedan down the main straight. 1 lap to go, major points. The end of the current Speedway season on Archerfield International Speedway. Gavin Fletcher, Adrian Stott and Neil Lowe, the 14 racer. This would certainly be a great boost for the confidence of Neil Lowe, car number 14, if they can stay in touch with this high-powered 23 race of Adrian Stott, doing a brilliant job coming out of the top turns. But race win, 42, Gavin Fletcher first. Second placing, Adrian Stott, car number 23, the 14 racer of Neil Lowe, officially third. The 5-lap time of the Melbourne and Cape Tiger, 1 minute 40.19. Your 5-lap time, Speedway fans, 1:40.19. Put your hands together for him, race fans. Gavin Fletcher, car number 42 first. Adrian Stott, 23 for second, and the 14 car of Neil Lowe, officially third. The 14-lap time, 1:40.19. Adrian Stott officially third, the winning time, 1 minute 46.54. Wow, Astra Saloons, talk about a high-powered, quick-fire. The other, anyhow, quite a nicely turned-out car going up the back straight, 174. 172, Peter Watling, 171 coming out of the top turns for Astra Saloons during our first heat. Over 6 laps, the track time held by George Galley and our driving limited sprinters. 1 minute 48.12 already. Dave Watling taking off like a man possessed down the main straight. The early part of our Saturday night long Speedway season out here at Archerfield. That's why you're seeing the likes of Peter Watling, Dave Watling running off 20 metres and 40 metres. All our regular Saturday night race fans will no doubt have seen those two drivers on numerous occasions running off 200 metres or even more. The likes of Bob Weir out of the Gold Coast and also Shane Grimer, that blue Holden Commodore car 343 tonight. The 172 Mike Vine turbo powered racer is virtually running away and hiding going up the back straight. Boris Stone tries he may, a 6-cylinder Holden against the turbo powered racer. It's at the big ask. Morris Stone doing quite a commendable job running in second placing coming down the main straight. And Peter Watling requiring St John's Ambulance attention here last Saturday afternoon. Good to see him back on the Speedway scene in car 171. Now powering outside driving at this point in time. The new boy in the block just finding out what it's all about. The independent grass layers, car 174. Virtually the same distance, covering our first 3 cars coming down the main straight during the first heat of Astra Saloon car racing. Dave Watling, Morris Stone and Peter Watling. That's how they're running high, wide and handsome, working the back straight. Talk about an easy Saturday night Speedway drive. Those words can be very aptly applied to our Tearaway race leader driving car 172, David Watling. Full of fire and brimstone, only across the start-finish line. 1 lap to go. Take my word for it, he's nowhere extended in car 172. Certainly we've seen this black and white racer get around this lightning fast Saturday night speed bowl a lot faster than what we're seeing during this first heat of Astra Saloon car racing. Morris Stone second placing, Peter Watling sitting back in third. Checkered flag down the main straight. Heat number 1, Astra Saloon racing car 172. Dave Watling first, second placing going to Morris Stone car 188, and officially third the 171 racer of Peter Watling, winning time 5 laps on the Valvian and Cape timer, 1 minute 44.08. All our folks filling out your race program, don't get confused with the new track time. 5 laps during the first heat of Astra Saloon racing. Race win going to car 172, Dave Watling first, the Gold Coast racer 188, Morris Stone for second, and finishing in third in 171, Peter Watling, the winning time on the Valvian and Cape timer, 1 minute 44.08. 171, 172, Pete and Dave Watling.
Us layers.
Oh yeah.
That means they lay turf.
That's right, I can dig up my backyard and they can lay it for me. Yeah, Lorraine wants some. Our best friend might want some. A lot of people might. Almost it, ready to go racing Speedway fans. Event number 13 immediately after we see our Astra Saloons in action for the handicap race. The thrilling part of a Saturday night of Speedway out here at Archerfield International Raceway. The 4 feature races to come your way. Headed firstly by our Strike Standard feature race, the 4 cylinders, the improved production, and the Astra Saloons, the Watling boys, dictating the pace, dictating the tempo, coming down the main straight in a couple of moments. Peter Watling and is Dave Watling giving Peter Watling plenty of hurry up. Tell you what, nose to tail, plenty of contact going across the start-finish line. The bar work at the front of the races and the rear. Certainly coming into play in a big way. Dave Watling looking for an inside or an outside passing move coming out of turn number 4. Morris Stone, I'd say he's improved that racer during the layoff. Now 188 going quite quickly on the start-finish line. No doubt, a very keen Archerfield Speedway competitor towing from the Gold Coast to Archerfield every Saturday night. That familiar Ampol red, blue and white car going up the back straight. Dave Watling from this point on has got an out of who's going to win event number 13, the Astra Saloon car handicap race. How far is he going to win by? Just going from strength to strength. The 172 car, Peter Watling 171 in second place. And the man I was talking about a couple of moments ago, 188 of Morris Stone, the independent grass layers. Car 174 pulling out down there on the 1-2 turns. David Watling, Peter Watling, and Morris Stone. 3 cars in straight formation. nomination going up the back straight, 172. The white flag this time across the start-finish line. It wouldn't matter there was 1 lap to go or 101 laps to go, providing there's enough fuel in the car. David Wattling, a virtual mortgage on the handicap race. I can see no one downing this high-powered car during the night's feature race. 172, full of firepower, coming out of turn number 2. Dave Wattling, Peter Wattling, and Morris Stone. Checkered flag at the ready. Car 172. Dave Wattling first, second placing. Is it Peter Wattling or Morris Stone? Certainly a big lunge round the outside of the start-finish line. 171, Peter Wattling second, and Morris Stone, the 188 car, officially third. Placing Speedway fans during event number 13, the Astra Saloon Car Handicap Race. Talk about keeping in the family. First and second, Dave Wattling, Peter Wattling, and 188 Morris Stone, officially third. The winning time, 1 minute 58.08 for 158.08. Moving to our first big high-powered feature race during our first Saturday night under lights out here at Archerfield International Raceway. Ask John how many laps. Which thought you better just to be. Okay, for starters, around about 8 sizzling Speedway laps during event number 17. The pace quickens, green flag, we go racing. Already Dave Wattling saying, see you back in pit row, Peter. I'm taking the race lead, coming out of turn number 2 for the first time. This one's a matter of how far is David Wattling going to win by. In the bike line, turbo-powered racer, can Morris Stone record a second placing, or can we see the Wattlings running 1-2 during tonight's Astra Saloon Car feature race on the main straight? Dave Wattling, Peter Wattling, Morris Stone, and the independent grass layers. Not much more I can say. Speedway fans, virtually the same distance, covering second, third, and fourth, going up the back straight, but no doubt the margin widening between first and second. David Wattling and Peter Wattling coming out of the 3-4 turns. This could be a chance for Morris Stone to take second place on the start-finish line. For some reason, Peter Wattling drifting pretty wide up there on turn number 4 before he attacks the main straight. He's not plenty for 1 moment in car 172. Must know he's got the edge, must know he's got the wood, but just loves a quick Saturday night around this high-powered Archerfield Speed Bowl. Peter Wattling and Morris Stone now getting quite close to determine who's going to finish second and third after 10 Astra Saloon Car laps. The grass layers car having an indiscretion down there on turn number 2. Obviously adding quite a bit of horsepower to the Sandbowl Reedy Creek racer during the 6-7 weeks winter layoff of Speedway racing. Obviously some problem there at the independent grass layers car, especially cruising around the concrete wall down there on the bottom turns. Dave Wattling, Peter Wattling, and Morris Stone. We've said those names certainly plenty of times during tonight's Astra feature. Obviously a lot of cars coming on screen as our Saturday night's progress during our long summer Speedway season. Dave Wattling, white flag as he powers out of the 3-4 turns down the main straight. Almost 3/4 of a lap. To Peter Wattling, second placing, car 171, dropping back at this point in time. Morris Stone, car 188, possibly saying, well look, I can't take second place away from Peter Wattling. Why bother you-know-what's out of the race car? I'll keep it and hopefully fill first or second next Saturday night in the Astra Saloon Car Division. But David Wattling, the top gun at this point in time, the king of Astra Saloon Car Racing, car 172 first. Peter Wattling, 171 when he comes out of the 3-4 turns, will take second, and officially third to 180 to 188 of Morris Stone. In for third, winning time on the Balmain and Cape timer, 2 minutes 29.83. The 8-lap time, 2 minutes 29.83. The placing, Speedway fans, the last event during our first Saturday night under lights out here at Archerfield. 172, Dave Wattling first, Peter in 171 second, and third placing 188 of Morris Stone. The 8-lap time, 2 minutes 29.83. Aussie Blackware shop out here at Archerfield every Saturday night. Also at the main entrance to Archerfield, 3 photos, $1 during tonight's Speedway racing. You can also place an order for calendars, clocks, watches. Yeah, 886 and who?
401 on your late nominations. Bill Whitmore.
Just checking out those two drivers. Billy Whitmore, car 401, or who? I haven't got it here. Phil Whitmore, car 481 and 886. Unfortunately, there's no indication who's driving car 886 going up the back straight. We've checked the late nomination sheets. We've checked everything possible here in our race headquarters, so we do apologise, race fans. All we can tell you is the white car 886 leading nicely coming down the main straight. Shane across the roof of the car, so I guess we can call him Shane, car 886. And 401 Phil, or 481 Phil Whitmore. Well and truly outpowered, outclassed at this point in time. Shane just giving the concrete wall a hefty nudge going up the back straight, but certainly have plenty of momentum to record a very, very easy win during our first two-car, two-lap King of the Ring Series winning time on the Bolian and Cape timer 46.14. Car making his first appearance for our brand new Saturday night race season at Archerfield. Neil Bowen and Shane 886. Oh, Neil Bowen taking off very, very smartly indeed. The left-hand side of the start-finish line. The Shane car well and truly going off song. Car 886 going particularly well, as we all seen during the first two-lap encounter. Whatever's gone wrong has certainly gone wrong in a big, big way down there on the bottom turn. The motor car is actually doing 5 miles an hour going up the back straight. Neil Bowen, hello, looks like now 886 well and truly getting motivated coming out of the 3-4 turns. Neil Bowen will certainly want to go helter-skelter across the start-finish line. Shane's well and truly got 886 fired up in his quest for victory to make it 2 starts, 2 wins. Is there room on the inside down there on the bottom turns? No, Neil Bowen covering his tracks beautifully going up the back straight. There's only one way for 886 to get around, and that's work the hard way. Coming out of the top turns, Neil Bowen and Shane in car 886. Can Neil Bowen do it? The two cars virtually side by side coming out of turn number 4 down the main straight. The Bullen Dark Body Works and Neil Bowen. So looks like one winner piece. Neil Bowen in car 434, the beating Michael Mason 446 South City Mazda 371 and Mr. Me. Tell you what, they think of all the names. Car 377. Can Neil Bowen do it this time round? Tell you what, certainly a lightning-like start for Neil Bowen in car 434. I must say he's doing a brilliant job. But down out the very experienced Robbie Crowther powering through on the inside down there on turn number 2. The last 2 Sunday afternoons race wins have virtually been shared by the straight white windscreen group, and also Rob Crowther and Dale Crowther, 2 white racers. 1 lap to go. Yes, I can see victory in his sights. Car 441. Robbie Crowther, well clear, coming out of turns 1 and 2. Very, very interesting indeed. Our 2 times so far, 48.34 and 49.14. He's not relenting for 1 moment going up the back straight. Robbie Crowther, next contender, looks like being the very, very quick Comet Batteries. And Glenn Forrest down to the start-finish line. The 2-lap encounter, 47.39. Quick time this time round. Robbie Crowther, 441. The fastest time so far during tonight's King of the Ring Series, 47.39. Seeing here the last 2 Sundays, the opening of our Speedway season. The winner of the last encounter starting on the inside, which is certainly greatly aided coming down the main straight. Or can the Comet Batteries car get well and truly wound up down there on the bottom turn? Glenn Forrest and Rob Crowther, plenty of side-by-side Speedway racing. I must make one comment during the King of the Ring Series. There hasn't been one incident or any paint-scraping racing out there on the Speedway circuit. It's certainly been good, hard, fast, clean action, which no doubt our Speedway fans love to see out here at Archerfield International Speedway. Robbie Crowther, a good 2-3 car length advantage going across the start-finish line. 1 lap left to go. I tell you what, the head down, tail up, driving style of Robbie Crowther. He's hard at work at the wheel, even going across the start-finish line, coming out of turn number 2. The white racer, 441, can he improve on that 47.39 set during the first encounter? About to make it 2 starts, 2 wins. Rob Crowther, well clear. The top turns the last time across the start-finish line, 46.47. Just getting better and better each time round, 46.47. Next Saturday night, 2 of our top open wheel sections appearing for the first time, talking about our compact speed cars and also our Formula 500s here at Archerfield. Next Saturday night, the East Coast A-grade sedans and the thrill seekers of Speedway racing, the Archerfield Speedway sedans. Gates opening 5:30, track back at 6:30, and racing under lights once again next Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Compacts, Formula 500s, East Coast A-grade sedans and the Archerfield Speedway sedans. Miss no part of the action. 7 o'clock at Archerfield next Saturday night. Hello, a whole new ball game this time down the main straight. Maybe to the one side, got it right. Rob Baldwin out driving at this point in time. There's room down there on turn number 2. Side by side. Speedway action going up the back straight. The inside double 4-1. Rob Crate to the outside. Robbie Baldwin. Robbie Baldwin is going that. Oh, I was just going to say 2 or 3 horsepower advantage, but certainly Rob Crater fighting back, coming out of the top turns. Talk about a dead heat going across the start finish line. Robbie Baldwin, car 474 first, a ripper of a time, 45.56 in 4 cylinders. Out to all conquering straight wide of windscreens races in the way of Todd Herring, car 464, and Colin Pollock for double 1. Yes, double 4-2, getting away from Rob Baldwin as soon as the green flag was dropped on the start finish line. Can Rob Baldwin make it 2-2, or can we see a new King of the Ring winner in the way of Dale Crather, car double 4-2, going up the back straight at this point inside Dale Crather. Well, until the extending that race lead, going past the Valvin and Cape Timac, and Rob Baldwin tuck inside, coming out of turn number 4. Certainly a beautifully handling race car, the 474 car of Rob Baldwin going across the start finish line, but there's certainly too many big guns firing in the Dale Crather racer. Car double 4-2 looks like the same car that Dale had many successes with during the last season out here at Archerfield Speedway. Probably using the old adage, why they got a winning car, why change, why build a new one? Dale Crather doing just that, coming out of turn number 4 down the main straight. Could be a very, very quick time. The Valvin and Cape Timer, 44.97, fast time during tonight's King of the Ring series. The trendsetter being Dale Crather, car in a time double 4.97. What could have been a major placing during the first heat? Maybe make amends in the King of the Ring series. Todd Herring. Whoa, bloody okay power on the start finish line. Let's start the double 4-2 race with Dale Crather jumping out of gear, desperate to find a gear down there on turns 1 and 2. I'd say this is no chance, unfortunately, much as I hate to say so. Dale Crather, without any fear of contradiction, one of our top line Saturday night Archerfield Speedway competitors. But obviously the gearbox is shot, or there's no chance of finding a gear. That's my opinion up here in our race headquarters. Todd Herring, a very, very easy 2-lap circulation around the Archerfield Speed Bowl. Todd Herring, very, very interestingly enough, taking on Colin Pollock, the 2 straight wide windscreens races. The last 2 cars to contest our 3rd King of the Ring series, 2 Sunday afternoons and our first Saturday night under lights. Todd Herring, even though he virtually stopped it many times around the Archerfield Speedway circuit, just gives an indication that we've seen a very, very quick car out there on the Speedway circuit, 47.56. A very, very interesting dice, the 2 straight wide windscreens cars coming down the main straight. Todd Herring the inside and Colin Pollock the outside. This one should be the match of the Titans coming out of the bottom turns. Colin Pollock, he said there's room on the inside, Todd. Let me through, coming out of turn number 2. But Todd Herring, he's having none of that business. Thank you very much indeed. He said, have you got enough power, Colin? And I think something may have gone amiss with the Colin Pollock car, or is it Todd Herring going up the back straight? 2 virtually identical painted race cars on the start finish line. Yes, Todd Herring disappearing into the distance down there on the bottom turns. Colin Pollock, whatever's gone wrong has certainly gone wrong in a big, big way in car 411. This has no doubt left Todd Herring to virtually cruise up the back straight across the start finish line and talk about a lot of unusual happenings during tonight's King of the Ring series, firstly during our last 2 Sunday afternoons. The entire field of races running, with the unlucky demise during the first Sunday after picking up 10 starts, 10 wins. Ricker Groom were just about to take on the big guns of improved production sedan car racing, but unfortunately a little 4-cylinder saying, well, enough's enough. Thank you very much indeed. Victories behind the name Tiger Willis. Clock. As we go racing already, Tiger Willis taking a look at Man Possess, coming out of the 1-2 turns, away he drove during tonight's opening heat of Stock Standard Division 1 Speedway Racing, looking all over a winner going up the back straight. Could be quite easily as easy as 2 laps around the Archerfield Speed Bowl, the 345 racer. Well clear going across the start finish line, lap number 1 wheeled off in a 22nd time on the Valvin and Cape Timer. Tiger Willis and Dale Mustard. All we can say is just watch Tiger Willis around the bottom turns, the back straight, the top turns. Across the start finish line, this should be a very, very interesting time. The track record held the credit of Jeff Peacock, 38.76. Already 38, clicking away on the Valvin and Cape Timer across the start finish line, 42.02. 42.02. How many more wins can we see being recorded by Tiger Willis? 42.02 during his first trip encounter. Archerfield next Saturday night. Compact speed cars, Formula 500s, East Coast A grade sedans, and Archerfield Speedway sedans. Jeff Peacock, the track record holder for 2 laps, 38.76. And the man winning heat number 1, Tiger Willis, car 45. Talk about exchanging paint coming out of turn number 2. Makes me eat my words what I said earlier on, but Tiger Willis looking set to make it 2 starts, 2 wins in car 345. A good 4-5 length advantage coming out of the turns. Down the main straight, this little Holland Tirana virtually jumping out of the ground. The red and white Tiger Willis and red bank paving. Jeff Peacock, try as he may. For one moment, Jeff Peacock drifting wide down there on the bottom turns. This is no doubt allowing the advantage that Tiger Willis was hoping for going up the back straight. Tiger Willis, 2 starts, 2 wins, 42.94. In the ring series. In car 345, Tiger Willis, who's going to win this one? Hold on to your seats, Speedway fans, it'll be a beauty. Round the outside, Ricky Salo, in the blue courtesy Property Services racer, and the inside, Tiger Willis coming out of turn number 2. Talk about even horsepower going up the back straight. Ricky Salo finding that added advantage past the Albion and Cape Timer. Can Tiger Willis tuck in tight? The only way he'll get around the Rick Salo car coming out of the 3-4 turns down the main straight. Tiger Willis the inside, and Rick Salo, I tell you what, he works overtime in this blue racer car 255. Ricky Salo now, Tiger Willis, he pokes the nose underneath the Rick Salo car on turn number 2. Can Ricky Salo fight back? He's only got the 3-4 turns left to go. There's room on the inside. Can it be Tiger Willis or can it be Ricky Salo? Down to the start finish line, the 345 racer, 42.63. Prediction for my forecast would be 4 starts and 4 wins for the red back paving man. Tiger Willis, green flag at the ready, going across the start finish line. Already Tiger Willis dictating the pace, dictating the tempo. Andy Lang for one moment, certainly on the rear bumper of this red and white racer going up the back straight. Ironically, both cars red and white. But the driver who's certainly got a lot on his shoulders to make it 4 starts, 4 wins, the red back paving, and Tiger Willis going across the start finish line. Tiger Willis, certainly everybody confident. Tiger Willis in car 345. He said if I can down the likes of Rick Salo, I know. I'm about to make it 4 starts, 4 wins. Can the poor little Holden Tirana hang in during the entire 6-cylinder stock standard event? There's plenty of cheering, plenty of race fans down the main straight for Tiger Willis. Put your hands together for him, Speedway fans. 4 starts, 4 wins, 42.95. That's about seeing those Ford Wreckers Redcliffe cars out here trackside. Very, very interesting indeed when we see the big Ford Falcon in the hands of Rick Bojan and also Bradley Young, the Centura car 306 at this point in time. Once again, the man looking straight down the gun barrel to make it number 5, going up the back straight, Tiger Willis. And car 345, well and truly outpowering, out-driving the 222 racer of Mickey Rosa. I think I could safely say the biggest winning margin with 1 lap remaining this time round between the first and second races. Tiger Willis and 222 Mick Racer. Tiger Willis maybe just getting a little bit of extra confidence each time round, saying to himself, hey, I'm about to make it number 5. How many more can I make it during tonight's King of the Ring series? In stock standard Speedway racing, checker flag across the start finish line. Those times extremely even indeed. 42.32, 42.94, 42.95 this time round, 42.65. Off. So certainly the East Coast boys back here with a vengeance next Saturday night. The gates opening 5:30, track back at 6:30, and racing Archerfield Speedway 7 o'clock. Can it be 6? Yes, 6 out of 6 this time round for Tiger Willis, car 344. Or 345 I should say, 345 going up the back straight. And his challenger Trevor Oxham in car 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Car length advantage across the start finish line. Tiger Willis, 2, 2, 3, Trevor Oxham in second place. Tiger Willis, 6 out of 6. Very, very interesting to see what time recorded this time round. I'd say the motor car fully extended going across the start finish line. 43 now, a rather quiet time. Well and truly easing off the loud pedal after he came out of turn number 4. 43.30, 43.30.
Are you coming up to do the different silence and
Tiger Willis and Ricky Bojan going across the start-finish line already at this point in time. 3:45, well and truly powering away to the distance. Going up the back straight. What is it? Redback paving, Tiger Willis and Ricky Bojan, the pedal to the metal. I tell you what, the big Ford Falcon driver, he means business in car 281. Can he possibly claim the 3:45 race with Tiger Willis going across the start-finish line? The magic number 7 about to happen for car 3:45. He's well and truly fired up during the King of the Ring series. Tiger Willis driving away on the back straight. If you can down this old conquering Rick Bojan racer, he's doing a job nothing short of sensational out there on the Speedway circuit. Number 7 and Tiger Willis, 42.84. 42.84, the time recorded by Tiger Willis. Okay, let's go racing. What happened to Bradley Young? Looks like he muffed a gear on the start-finish line. Can he possibly come through on the inside of Tiger Willis down there on the 1-2 turns? The two cars virtually side by side going up the back straight. Well, if there's any contact during this two-lap encounter, luckily enough, they're two red and white racers out there on the Speedway circuit. Bradley Young would dearly love to down this redback paving racer, and Tiger Willis going across the start-finish line. Both drivers hard at work at the wheel down there on the 1-2 turns. The only chance for Bradley Young. No, he close. Oh, Bradley Young loops the big Centura. Any chance of race victory is certainly blowing up the door down there on the bottom turns. Number 8, it's about to happen. The 3-4 turns. Can he emulate 10 out of 10? Held here during our first Sunday afternoon of King of the Ring racing to Ricker Groom in the 4-cylinder racer. Number 8, canopy number 9, Carl Goontroff. Sitting up there at the pit row in car 271 this time round. The two Holden Tiranas coming out of turn number 4 down the main straight. Carl Goontroff. Oh, Carl Goontroff for the first time round. But whoa, Tiger Willis into the left-hand side of the Carl Goontroff car down there on turns 1 and 2. The wily Carl Goontroff, he's got plenty of go power around the outside. Is it going to be number 8 and a full stop? And can we see Carl Goontroff taking out the last two-lap encounter during tonight's King of the Ring series? Carl Goontroff drifting wide, coming out of turn number 4 down the main straight. I tell you what, these two guys, they're driving like men possessed in car 345 in the 271 racer of Carl Goontroff. Certainly a lot resting on the shoulders of Tiger Willis going up the back straight. Whether he wins this or loses this, I'll tell you what, 8 out of 8, still a magic effort in King of the Ring racing. Very, very hard indeed on the car and driver in the King of the Ring series. Down to the start-finish line, and Carl Goontroff, car 271 first. Put your hands together for him, Speedway fans. The top drive, the time on the Belvian and Cape timer, 42.62. 42.62. The man of the moment, the driver recording the most wins during tonight's King of the Ring series, being car 345, 8 starts, 8 victories. You're right? Just about. Okay, we go racing. Who's going to pair out number 2 on top? Looks like Gavin Fletcher at this point in time. Car number 42, sitting back in second placing, Shane Honeyman. Oh, Shane Honeyman losing valuable ground down there on the bottom turn. I would say at this point in time, throwing away any possible chance of down in the all-conquering 42 racer coming down the main straight. Gavin Fletcher and Shane Honeyman. Shane Honeyman certainly dropping back, going across the start-finish line. The 42 racer, the top man, stock standard during our last season, 76. This time round, the signing. Joined the improved production ranks and certainly doing a brilliant job during our last 2 Sunday afternoons, 79. Across the start-finish line, heat number 1, quick time, 41.40, 41.40. This one should be a firecracker, could quite easily be the highlight of tonight's King of the Ring series, along with George Twin, car number 28. The two cars out there at this point in time, Adrian Stock, car number 23, and Gavin Fletcher. Adrian Stock, at the right moment, electing to run the high line, electing to run the low line, but I'd say he's effectively throwing any chance out the window of downing the 42 racer of Gavin Fletcher going up the back straight without any shadow of doubt. One man who can virtually get this motor car around like a train on rails out here at the Archerfield International Speedway. Doing just that during the Ring series. Gavin Fletcher well and truly fired up, coming out of the 1-2 turn. Second placing, held down by Adrian Stott. This is how they're going to finish. Can he do a better time than the 41.40 recorded during the first 2-lap race? Very sideways on, coming out of the top turns. The usual driving style of Gavin Fletcher. A very, very spectacular Saturday night Speedway star. Fast time, 41.09. Fast time, 41.09. The fastest time during King of the Ring series, a track record held to the credit of Stephen Andreessen. A lightning-like time, 37.34. Dave Watley Watling take off like a man possessed down there on the bottom turn. Second placing, of course, being the independent Grass Supplies car going up the back straight. Can David Watling be equal or better? That 41.09 set by Gavin Fletcher during our last two-lap race in the King of the Ring series. Certainly Dave Watling running high, wide and handsome, coming out of turn number 4 down the main straight. Dave Watling certainly setting our Archerfield Speedway circular light down there on the bottom turns. 172, full of firepower, extends that race lead in a big way going up the back straight. Dave Watling, 41.09. Can we see that time? Yes, I would say we're about a 38 or a 39 in the Albion and Cape timer. Across the start-finish line, 38.92, fast time during tonight's King of the Ring series. The man having the distinction of recording that fast time being Dave Watling, the black and white turbo-powered racer. 172 Dave Watling and Morris Stone, car 188. Oh, Morris Stone certainly taking the race right up to Dave Watling coming out of turn number 2. Maybe Dave Watling saying to himself, well look, I'll take things rather quietly. Morris Stone certainly means business, this red, blue and white racer from the Empire Reedy Creek, and Dave Watling virtually side by side going across the start finish line, or as Dave Watling knows, he's got horsepower to spare in car 172. Dave Watling, can you make it 2 out of 2? Looks like our last Astra Saloon. Looks like our Albion and Cape time. It is playing up for one moment there at this point in time, so we'll go along with the previous time of 38.92. 2 starts, 2 wins. Dave Watling, car 172 first. The Astra Saloon star and the King of the Ring Racing, 38.92. The fast time recorded during the last 2-lap encounter. Downing this time round to make it 2 starts, 2 wins. The Morris Stone 188 car out of the Gold Coast. Archerfield next Saturday night. 4-cylinder Todd Herring taking on the Carl Goontroff car. I tell you what, a very, very brave Todd Herring car 464. The way that Carl Goontroff down the all-conquering redback paving car earlier on. Carl Goontroff certainly looking good going past the Albion and Cape timer. Takes the inside running coming out of the 3-4 turns. Believe me, the straight white windscreens car he's certainly not done with yet. Moving across the start finish line. Todd Herring certainly run a hell of a car driver combination, putting plenty of thrills into our high-powered Saturday night Archerfield Speedway racing. Carl Goontroff and Todd Herring going up the back straight. Carl Goontroff taking out the end of season spoils during our last Sunday afternoon, the 96-97 Archerfield Speedway season. Across the start finish line, hello, the Todd Herring car running on about 2-3 cylinders down the main straight. Okay, let's go racing. Green flag coming down the main straight. Carl Goontroff and Gavin Fletcher, that 30-metre handicap mark. And the way this all-powered, all-conquering Holden Tirana coming out of turn number 2, going up the back straight. Has he down the top gun from Improved Productions Land Car Racing? We're very, very interesting indeed to see what handicap mark is imposed upon the 172 car of David Watling the next time round. Carl Goontroff and Gavin Fletcher try as he may, setting this beautifully handling race car of Carl Goontroff at this point in time, having the advantage, having the edge on Gavin Fletcher going up the back straight. Carl Goontroff and Gavin Fletcher, checkered flag at the ready. Going to be 2 out of 2. The Carl Goontroff racer, 40.98. The time on the Albion and Cape timer, 49.8. 2 starts, 2 wins. Carl Goontroff, the Mike Line turbo-powered racer, car 172 of Dave Watling, green flag. I tell you what, Dave Watling, he's won from 200 metres, 300 metres here on a Speedway night. This will be almost a superhuman drive if he can somehow or some way pick up the flying Carl Goontroff car working the back straight. And David Watling, certainly that gap becoming closer each time round between Carl Goontroff and David Watling. Virtually 2-3 car lengths going up the back straight. Watling having a big look down the outside, the left-hand side of the Albion and Cape timer. Is there room on the inside coming out of turn number 4 down the main straight? Dave Watling, car 172, overdoing the 50-metre handicap race. King of the Ring winner, Speedway fans, put your hands together for him. Dave Watling, car 172 first. The time on our Albion and Cape timer, 41.28. The time, 41.28. 2 starts, 2 wins, Carl Goontroff, but the eventual winner being Dave Watling, car 172 first, in a time, 41.28. racer.